So maybe there's that window of overwhelming presence where Exo plus Doom plus Mystic Flare, Venge swaps, like it could just be too much for a very scaling lineup to deal with. Like, yes, there's cooldowns, but if they execute on the cooldowns, it could be very good. But yeah, you see here both teams warding kind of underneath each other. Of course, Dire will be seeing the ward first and getting that D ward off.
Yeah, MoneyMakers pushing in and just making sure they can get control of their area. It's pretty obvious one, to be fair. So yeah, I mean it's really actually going to be hard, as you say, for Chira Junior then to rotate with his Death Prophet just being so sticky in the middle lane. The tower is going to be under constant threat, which is really annoying for any hero which wants to roam around and get kills. So do you think we'll see UALEIKUM try to adjust to that and maybe try and get some early kills on the Death Prophet? And do their supports allow them to do that?
Oh, I think it really depends on the Death Prophet's positioning. I think if she's on her steps of the mid lane, then probably not. But if she pushes up to hit that tower with some right clicks, then a well-placed Tombstone Bramble, then 100% she can go down. But we've seen plenty of Death Prophet clips throughout the time where triple siphon and suddenly she's back up, and with your support being an Undying plus the melee of the mid, that's going to be 2 melee heroes minimum jumping her, easy siphon targets, and it's going to be a difficult balance. Like, I could easily see them ganking her, failing, games are all difficult, or they kill her a couple times and everything that you've been mentioning comes into light where, oh, it's a Death Prophet with high cooldowns plus a Doom and Sven. Like, it could be way too janky. I'd be surprised if she really does die here.
Okay, all right. I'm just being a hater then.
A little bit, but I like it. I normally, we can sometimes be yes men in the first game of the day, but no, I'm liking this, starting with a bit more hostility, a bit more, speak off the cuff. Yeah. But Willow's not enjoying the first game of the day, already getting run out of the lane by Slayer.
Jesus.
And should be dead.
Dead, Wave of Terror. Yep, that'll do the job. First blood for the Vengeful Spirit, taking it down in style. Damn, wasn't expecting that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Willow's a hero that often plays behind the core and right clicks a little bit, so a little bit of a weird positioning. It happens. You'll be able to recalibrate. Use the Centaur as your kind of body. Don't put yourself in that vulnerable position.
And quick hat check, and we currently have 2 hats, one being worn by Mary and one being worn by Lucas, so one for each side. Would like to see some more hats coming out, guys, so if we could sort that out, that'd be great.
Do you think what's better for a game, a high five offering or like placing the hat on your head mid kill?
I think the hat's placement is very subtle, so probably a high five.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. As I asked the questions, like the hats aren't like obnoxious enough. Like they could easily up the ante on the hats. That could be like a battle pass thing, if we had one, rip. Would be like the higher thing, the bigger the hat. Interesting.
So in the mid lane, Igor uses the Spirit Siphon, and rather than running away, Chira just literally turns around, trample on and just smacks Igor with his back. He's just happy to make the trade. Does come off a little bit worse from it, but it's definitely an interesting take on the lane. This Death Prophet is a kind of a static factor now in the draft, right? Like, you're picking it because you aren't going to give away that cheap kill. You are going to always be able to hit your creeps and farm up, and we are seeing that right now in the game. All the cores pretty much are CSing relatively well. There isn't that one core that's truly struggling. You could argue Doom being only at 8 CS is probably the biggest loser at the moment, but again, nothing crazy. Sure, he's hitting the creeps now. They're under his tower, but stuff under tower, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So very, very stable entry to the game right now from both teams. And whoever breaks first, you would argue that Radiant has the better chance at making the move first. Heroes like Undying, Willow, Primal Beast, they're a little bit more active in nature. So we'll see if they are to utilize that at some point.
Chira's making some really weird moves in mid. He's like, he just went all the way behind the tower to try and snipe the courier, completely missed it, and then kind of just walked back to lane. I mean, I guess he had nothing else to do because he's just nuking out every wave with Onslaught Trample, but very interesting way to play this lane.
I think it's also the repercussion of what is happening in the side lanes. Like, as we're glancing at top and bot lane, Centaur, he's using double edge, he's stomping, he's really just forcing the wave under the tower. And then on the flip side, you got Gyro with a taker, 2 points in flat cannon. So this isn't a game where the Radiant are holding the waves in front of their towers, forcing Dire to get a little bit closer. They're kind of shoving it into Dire's side. So Primal Beast isn't going to be able to TP in for a quick, you know, level 4, level 5 kill. And maybe because of that, he's looking at the minimap and going, yeah, I've just got to do some weird stuff, boys. Like, we're not really playing Dota. Like, there's no way Primal's TPing top into this wave either, right? So it's just going to be everyone push creeps, get as much as you can, and then when they decide to fight, they'll give it a go. And yeah, that's it. Just happy little farm time right now.
It is, yeah, it is. And, you know, one thing the Doom is doing quite well is he's coming in when Jara's using this flat cannon and denying the range creep, which sounds simple, but it's actually pretty annoying because when you have a flat cannon going, you then can't, like, you can't last hit or you'll just lose the range creep a lot of the time. But now Mary comes in just to help zone out a little bit more, and this is the main issue the Doom's been facing. But that said, with the waves constantly coming under his tower, he's going to be kind of happy. And
look at what they're doing. This is so obnoxious.
Crazy.
This has been the entire lane.
Fire as well? No, it's a dive fortify. Okay, well. All right,
just to be clear. Oh, wait, what? Oh, he got level 6. He got
kill in the middle lane.
He didn't even use his ult.
Level 6.
Free level 6.
He got 6 from the kill.
He had 2 siphons up, boss. He had a water rune as well.
Not sure if we have the technology. Meanwhile, from the top side, Sugarat getting run down a little bit here, but there comes that Cursed Crown buying in the space he needs to get himself away, and the Willow will be absolutely hunky-dory as well, so...
Yeah, I wasn't looking at mid, but he had a Fairy Fire, he had the Water Rune, he had 2 siphons, like... He must have been like, oof, that shouldn't be happening.
I mean, sometimes that trample plus a Stampede burst is just way too much to predict.
That's true. It is easily a couple hundred damage minimum, so... Eagle kind of misplaying a little bit in the mid lane. Quite a chill style of 35 CS to the 27 of Primal, but you give away a free kill. And now the question for Primal, what's he going to be doing on the map? He does TP into the top lane, looking to find Lucas on the retreat. But of course, it being nighttime, won't have the vision. For the first real rotation of Chira, netting nothing.
Ooh, is he going to be seen? No, it doesn't quite get seen by the Venge either. Thought the Venge might have been able to bring it down, but yeah, nothing found by the Primal. A little bit awkward, but Bexon says, oh, all good. I'll scoop up a bit of XP in the mid lane. More than happy.
Of course, Sven Doom, very much farming-orientated cause, and Igor on the Death Prophet. He is the one to basically make the moves. He's going to be the playmaker from this Death Prophet. And the question for him is he going to join that farm where he exos with his team? Is he just going to be a little bit greedier and look to do other moves? But I think it's a lot of pressure on this Death Prophet to make the correct moves, because if he doesn't use that exo correctly, suddenly it's everyone's farming, exo's been wasted. That's why I'm kind of keeping my camera locked on him. Like, what's he going to be doing?
Thrilling stuff at the moment as he clicks here at mid.
Yes, but I mean,
we saw Mary try and cross the bridge to get to the Wisdom Rune in the bottom side, and BB was just waiting for him on the other side of the bridge and body blocked him and then tried to run him down with the Scorched Earth. Not enough damage coming out from him, unfortunately. Doom's just not a particularly high damage here at this point in the game.
Man, MoneyMakers didn't really enter this game with let's draft the real fun heroes. They were like, let's hit the... Like, at 40 minutes, their draft's very fun. You know, swaps and stuns and dooms and whatnot, but it's quite a slow burner, yeah, to get into the game.
Weird rotation as Eagle comes bottom with the Invis Rune.
Yeah, the pressure from this Death Prophet, honestly, it's like, she's not pressuring the game, but she's feeling the pressure. Like, she gives away 1 solo kill mid, but we're yet to see that exo. Like, traditionally, you hit 6, you're calling people to your lane, and finally, she's popping the exo on mid.
Yeah,
where's the...
Can he get away from this? Moving. Oh, nice little arc there up to the high ground. Wasn't expecting him to go in that direction, but that might have been the one direction which saves his life.
Yeah,
over to
good
the side and just out of there.
And now because of that, you think Slayers? Just let him run away, boss.
I think you just kill him, right? Nope, not helping out. Yes, he is. Okay, there we go. Bignum just gonna get the kill. Oh, into the neutral camps. Okay, easy. Finds himself in the end. This is so
Wait, Sven
walks in and he's just getting cut down by 4 UALEIKUM heroes. Where do these guys come from? The whole squad's just arrived. Lucas is just... What? Okay, he's gonna die. Slayer, meanwhile, somehow able to pick off the Undying on the sidelines as well. That was a fight.
Was it? It was quite a scuffle. I think let's hold fight for the good ones. That was Primal just doing a lot of dancing around, baiting out, and of course using that twin gate, getting the rest of the lads up into that top part of the fight. This is not the window of engagement for Moneymakers. With a Sven, a Doom, I've already mentioned it, they can't fight in the early game. They're just passive farmers. You buy farming items. Midas is obviously for Doom, not Sven. And yeah, unfortunately they are trying to look to make some moves, and in doing so, Undying, Willow, etc. are going to thrive in these earlier scuffles. Death Prophet, she tried to go for mid tower, but Exo was running out. She used it quite early on, so 700 HP left on this mid tier one. Not able to take it away during the chaos of whatever we just watched.
Yeah, a significant chunk of the tower's health gone, but overall, not super worthwhile.
Well, they're going on to Doom into the bot lane. He has Vanguard and beautiful footwork there.
Navigating the maze perfectly. You'd think a big guy like him would be bound to stick a foot into a bramble there or something, but nope.
And Igor also tried TPing as well. He cancelled that TP. And now no TP on Death Prophet, no Exo. I can feel like, maybe there's not the nerves, but I can feel the need to do stuff installed into Igor right now.
Yeah, big time. But that lack of being able to do stuff, I mean, where does that come from? Is that just from the way that UALEIKUM are playing, or is it the draft which MoneyMakers are playing around?
It's probably a combination of both, but more towards how UALEIKUM are playing, because they're being very noisy, right? Primal Beast is making moves, Willow's just throwing out brambles. They're doing a lot of, we might kill you, and if you don't rotate, you're gonna die type moves, and there's no one to help, right?
Just a lot of soft committing.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of soft committal. And Moneymakers, their draft is very stagnant in how they help each other. So if something does go down, you're gonna need to TP and just hope your body's enough. They don't have that kind of traditional save right now. I mean, Venge hitting 6 will somewhat help out. Well, they're TPing up on the twin gate once again, but this time they're under a ward, so Mary and a Taker very much in vision.
Interesting. Oh, the courier's coming through as well. Nice.
Oh, nice entry as well. There you go. Good D-ward.
There you go. Job's done. I was wondering, I was like, who the hell is coming through the teleport? Oh, it's a courier. And this is something I haven't seen many people do, but it's cool. If your courier is almost there and you go through the teleport, take it with you, because it won't do it itself. You gotta make it do it, but
I want to see teams in the late games do that as well. Like, do you know when you're doing that awkward, you control Dire, I control Radiant twin game, and you use the teleport to get through? Like, why not just send your courier through? Because no one at 50 minutes in the game will think that's going to happen. They'll throw down their AoE spells, realizing it's just a courier, and they're like, gotcha. Now, I can see that being a play. Like, you smoke up the map, you send the courier through at the same time, so the courier goes through, then your smoke connects. Like, there's ways to bamboozle people with late game courier twin gates, and no pro team, I think, has really tried doing it yet. But clip it and ship it, boys. Off we go.
yeah, if you want to have this kind of mastermindmanship at TI, then twitter.com/
Can't spell TI without T. Come on. That's,
Yep. It's pretty good, actually. I can see you now in like in a suit and like an advert on a billboard outside Seattle Stadium.
It's just cardboard. I just wrote on it with like a Sharpie. Please, let me in.
That's a juicy stack. Who's going to be taking that? I mean, the Sven's going to want it, but if UALEIKUM have seen it, then they might have plans to get in there as well. But Gyrocopter not quite able to do so just yet, to be honest with you. Flat Cannon is annoying in that way. He is just going straight for the Ags though, just going Power Treads, Falcon Blade, Wraith Band, and then straight into the Ags.
Yeah, perfect for the farm. And now Igor breaks from the mid lane, smokes up with his team. They found a Taker.
Okay, well, swap comes out, damage comes in, a Taker, he will be going down here, but does get off the ulti just before he drops, and that's going to help them bring down Igor and Slayer perfectly. Now they move across to more here, the Sven comes in from the sidelines with the God Strength, with the Mystic Flare, trying to bring down the Doom even onto the Primal Beast. They're trying to kill him off, and he's limping away from this fight. Is it going to be enough to finish the job is a question, and the answer seems to be no. Looks like, oh wait, 96, 66.
He's dead.
66, 6. The denial will come through. One extra tick That's all it took to kill him off. They did have to get the deny in the end, but still does die. But not really a great fight for the side of MoneyMakers, has to be said.
You know what?
Jar, I guess that's pretty good.
That's pretty good they killed the Gyro, but you know what, Nomad? I think I'm siding with you the more I watch this Death Prophet. Just a bit.
Hero. Thank you.
It's just a bit. It's a lot of nothing right now, unfortunately. Like Igor, he hasn't taken the mid-tier 1 tower. He died by himself. He rotates bottom at 13 minutes, which I would argue is about 5 minutes too late with this type of hero and the levels you get. To then fight a Primal Beast that had Blade Mail and 100 to 0 her pretty much by himself. We are going to see Willow go down at the Wisdom Room location. But yeah, we're not really feeling the full effect. Also, didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? Like, I was scared of Ghost when I was a kid. I grew out of it. I think people need to grow out of Death Prophet as well.
I think they did. It's very much an unpicked hero. Another smoke up. So this time around, Bignan has, of course, hit level 6 from the prior fight, plus the Wisdom Room, happily into level 7. You got the Atos on the Death Prophet, plus the Arcane Rune. They're just really hoping to find that hero. Plenty of damage between the two of them. Issue is, they kind of want to find probably a support or Gyro for that quick, easy kill. Going for a hero like Centaur Primal, they're going to turn the fight around, be it Blade Mail or just the innate tankiness. And yeah, just moves just aren't really connecting for MoneyMakers. The net worth, yeah, 2,000 gold, fluttering 2,000, 1,000. But they're just wasting a lot of time with their supports plus mid. Running into the darkness, achieving nothing.
Yeah, they just need to get some pickups if they want to bring down any of these towers, and that's just not happening. So MoneyMakers, you know, whilst sure they've been struggling to make moves of their own, they are doing a pretty decent job, and they've even scanned right on them here as well.
MoneyMakers very much aware.
Even pinged out the ward spot even. Dang. Read like a book.
Okay. Sven has the Blink Dagger now, an extra form of initiation. This is a really good time for MoneyMakers to connect on a fight. Smoke up again. 3 smokes in a row. One has to connect this time, even with Lucas. This is the one, boys. But high ground vision is going the way of UALEIKUM.
They go, yeah, they know this ward is here, so do they go for the D ward first? Yes, they do. As they go for the engagement, at the same time, Lucas jumps in. 2 heroes caught inside of it, and then just gone. Marius Shogaran hit the Primal Beast. Chira flying through the fight. He's got a haste rune. That is just broken. Slaps down 2 heroes as well, straight off the bat. Meanwhile, the Gyro trying to trade with a Death Prophet. Death Prophet, she's got way more damage than the Gyro does at this point of the game, so it's able to kill him off. Meanwhile, in comes that Pulverize in the backlines onto the Sven. It is enough to get the kill with the baby trample. He gets silenced, but it still goes off. And Chira Jr. saves the fight somewhat, but it doesn't change the fact it's a full 5-man team wipe for the side of MoneyMakers. What a blink timing.
Just what? All the damage from Primal Beast there, completely saving the engagement. MoneyMakers smoking into the triangle. They had no vision, no real reason to kind of go in that direction, but they find the perfect initiation, kill off the Undying pre-tombstone, kill off the Centaur instantly, and then, yeah, Primal had the haste rune like you mentioned, was able to cut through. But no, fair play to MoneyMakers giving it a go. That will be the theme of the entire game, and it's why their draft is so scary at like 35 minutes. Before then, Ruh-roh.
Yeah, that's a dead Willow.
Oh, Igor, no!
Revenge, Igor. This isn't how you want to be. He's just going to get run down by a taker. I love how active this Gyro is being. I mean, sure, he got killed in the last 2 fights, but he just keeps turning up. It's not dissuading him at all. You think with his Ags, he just go farm, but nah, man. He's here to play some Dota.
Yeah, it's that rinse, repeat mentality that you have. When you look at the heroes, Doom, Sven, Death Prophet, all of them, I'm going to say it again, new day, new me, light switch heroes. It's like they have large cooldowns, so go for that. I love the fact that Gyrocopter, he could easily be back in the jungle, but he knows how are they going to kill me. So let me help my team, take that mid tower, I can retreat to the jungle after and still be efficient, but I need to chip away when those cooldowns are, you know, ticking over. I think vision and positioning is super key for these engagements. If you get that quick swap, that quick doom, of course you're going to have numbers advantage. Your ability to blow up heroes is insane for MoneyMakers. So for UALEIKUM, if they are going to try and enter this game with a bit of confidence, they need to position correctly, offer up the correct heroes, because at any minute you can just get completely removed from the game with the heroes like Sky and Sven on the enemy team.
Absolutely.
And it's not as if we're seeing the shard from Undying yet either to save that hero either. Like a well-placed tombstone save could be the deciding factor, but very much not there. He also just got deleted.
He does die if he's caught in the front lines, but yeah, I mean the 4-staff also helps in that situation as well, and then you can kind of play the 50-50 for the Tormentor, I guess. But at some point you do just have to buy it. Like if you don't get it from this Tormentor at 20 minutes, you just have to buy it, 100%. Yeah,
let's see what the Tormentor game's saying right now. So yeah, Willow and Undying don't have shards right now, so it's between them. I would argue you'd probably want it on your Undying. The Willow one's cute but not great, and Igor pops that Exorcism plus the God Strength from Lucas. They are really wanting to take away this Roshan.
Yep, 2 out of 3 light switches are on as they use it to bring down Roshan, blind him, and they will take this Aegis onto the death buff, interestingly. I mean, yeah, I guess they don't actually have a good Aegis carrier on their team, but still. MoneyMakers, you know, despite how things have been going for them, they do have the gold lead. They now have an Aegis, which they managed to sneak away while they come none the wiser to this one. And yeah, they really need to have a better idea that they could do this on while they come. But I would like to see them now fight. You've got a BKB on your Primal Beast. He was able to do so much work last fight without it. With this next fight, he's going to be owning. And they don't have these abilities anymore. In fact, while they come are invading the triangle already, yeah, they're just getting all up in their grill.
The issue with what you just said, though, is the BKBs are coming out for MoneyMakers. Death Prophet completed one just as the Aegis fell. And Sven, he's only, what, 7? Actually, he can just disassemble Echo Saber. So they have 2 big BKBs available in their cores. And does Gyro really do the physical damage right now to eat through that? Especially with the Warcry from Sven? I don't think this next fight is actually that much Radiant favored. I think MoneyMakers, of course, with Aegis, without the DP ult, they're still good contenders to take it away.
Let's see how it goes. Meanwhile, again, they're still trying to make a statement here towards MoneyMakers, but with Igor leading the charge with his Aegis, it's not really a target they want to go on, but Bezkin says, I don't care. I'm gonna throw my spells regardless, but I'll just come in, I'll get the D wards, and
big deny.
Oh, feels bad.
That feels good. What do you mean? Don't be biased.
Wait, do you don't be biased? It feels.
Emotions have occurred.
Yeah. That's what the people want when they complain about biased casters. That's the world you're heading for.
Imagine how annoying that would be to listen to. Just a completely neutral, no emotion cast.
Yep.
Tormentor has been destroyed by MoneyMakers.
People will feel things about that. Interesting that Chira is choosing to go for the heart next. Not something I would consider against Doom because, of course, he does have that complete anti-healing aspect to him, but he wants to be a big boy. People have been loving heart this patch from what I've seen.
Yeah, just up the HP. That means Blade Mail will be more effective, right? Because you'll just live longer, Blade Mail. So I think it's just a nice little combination to make with that one. And he is tossing and turning, though. He has now just switched back for Sanj Kaya. So going for a little bit of status resistance, potentially. I think maybe someone on his team was like, boss man, this isn't a pub. Let's go for Sanj Kaya. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. There we are looking at the wider items here. But you can see that I feel like MoneyMakers, their trajectory of itemization is that mid-game fight to crush them. Whilst, you know, Radiant, it's a little bit more everyone for themselves, potentially. Maybe a 4-star here, Lotus there. We'll have to see. Both teams are actually being super disciplined as we enter this 22-minute mark of the game. They're grouping up with the smoke. Everyone's getting close to Bignum to get that activation. Beautiful change in 7.34. And Centaur, he's currently up by himself.
Yeah, they're just going to throw the whole goddamn kitchen sink at him. Down he goes. Sugarette is gone. God Strength and Mystic Flare used. And of course, when you're right in front of an objective like this, it's always good to pop that Gods because you can then just turn it into a tower as well. And there you go. Second tower of the game going to go down for the MoneyMakers. And looking to keep it going here. Chira Jr., he's going to commit though. He's just going to throw down the trample, threaten Lucas just a little bit. Ruffle his truffles a tiny bit, but meanwhile on the sidelines, Vexen, he's taking a step too far forward and he's going to get picked up as well. MoneyMakers, they are in control of this game right now.
Yeah, it just feels like every time they have the key ultimate ready, they're just going for it, get the kill, reset, and they're causing just fear. And at no point have I really seen Shira Junior, since picking up the BKB, go, guys, let's take the fight, because unfortunately it just synced up with Moneymakers' timings as well, and due to that we're still in mode farm. I think if anything you're waiting for a taker on this gyrocopter to potentially finish up the Satanic, and then you need to go for that fight where the Doom gets tanked so that gyrocopter isn't the one doomed, and then you can really showcase what gyrocopter's about. But I would be a little bit concerned if I was UALEIKUM right now. Just they haven't been able to smoke up, dictate a fight, do anything. They're too afraid from the swaps from the Venge or the Doom and Mystic Flare combinations coming in. Are they smoking up now? I see them on the minimap, very grouped up together, getting scouted out by illusions, showing on the wave. This isn't the cleanest of smokes if they are to do it. This is a dirty smoke. Yeah.
The smoke that Mother tells you not to hang out with. And yeah, unsurprisingly, Moneymakers have split themselves across the map far and wide. Slayer's just dangling himself as a tasty carrot on this lane, and even invising himself away from it as well. So Chira will now see it. Might just take this one. Might just be like, yeah, all right, this is my...
You need something.
They're coming in. Hello. BKB needs to come out, and it hasn't done so. Double stuns coming through, chaining it great onto one. Oh no, he's caught inside the tombstone, inside his own. BKB, lad, is less than ideal.
Oh, they've doomed the gyro.
To escape from this, Doom out onto the gyro. If they can get the gyro out of this one, it might not be too bad. Swap comes through even. Just a lot of spells and not a lot of impact from both teams here.
Yep. We've waited 25 minutes for this, and we're going to probably wait another 25 minutes for a good one, but...
All right.
Such an awkward start to the fight. So the Primal tries to go for the Venge, out of range to get the grab, and then the Bramble Maze from the Willow, absolutely beautiful. Cancelled the Sven Blink, so then you couldn't just layer on top of the Primal Beast. And Venge with that final swap, he tried to go for the swap into Magic Missile, but once he then made the swap, he's like, wait a second, I also don't have vision. So they weren't able to connect up.
I was wondering.
A lot of things thrown out in different directions, and the victors of that will probably be UALEIKUM, right? No Doom, no Sven ult, no Death Prophet. Let's throw that gyrocopter into the mix. Let's try and take some towers. This is your best window. You've been very passive this entire game. And finally, they haven't used their spells correctly.
Oh, damn. Homie got a Satanic. Pulled up somewhere.
Yeah, he was right. Farming. He's farming a Storm. He's just scared because at any minute he just gets removed from the game. It's just not fun playing into this Doom hero. And you've already said, right, Stampede is going to be a beautiful counter to Doom the entire game. Like, all you need to do is if a taker gets doomed, it's like, guys, I'm doomed. Stampede, boom, disengage, run away. There aren't really that many stuns to keep them contained.
All right. 26 minutes in, and despite the 7k gold advantage for Moneymakers, they can't really translate that into a successful fight, even with the Aegis as well. They now lose a tier 2 as UALEIKUM start to try to make this era of the game theirs. But Primal Beast caught out. Doesn't BKB that? Had a chance to do so, but chose not to. There comes the Tombstone. This time, pretty good. Not in the middle of BKB, which is nice. And now he backs himself away.
I mean, all I'm saying is this is the game for Centaur Aghanim's. Like, it's such an awkward spell, but the idea of not being targeted, right? The issue is then you would swap the Centaur, breaking the cart, then making him targetable again. So it's probably a really bad game for it. But if you don't use swap correctly, can't get doomed. Either way, they're smoked up. Moneymakers, they got the swap. And he's dead.
Yeah, that's the big boy in the back line, but he gets forced away, and now he can get a Satanic and just heal himself up all the way to full and keep the fight going. Chira comes in, slams that Sven into the ground, but now he's got the BKB and the Ghost Train coming out the other side of the Doom. Does finally come down onto the gyrocopter. He needs to get away, but won't be able to do so. Surrounded by dire heroes, he gets killed off, as does Sugaret, as it does look like the Willow's heading that way as well, trying to go for the TP out, but that is desperate. Vexen to fall, and now Moneymakers, it's their turn to do a bit of damage.
How does UALEIKUM actually position in these fights? Like, at any minute, it's just everyone's just ripping through them. The gyrocopter, there was no one to protect him. It's so incredibly difficult that the fight's over before it even starts for them. When they respawn, maybe they have the confidence to try and go for something. Exo on cooldown for 100 seconds, Doom on cooldown for 60, but the fact that God Strength it's only up in 20 seconds. There's never really a window of time where all cooldowns will be unavailable.
Yeah.
It just feels like we're just slowly trickling towards MoneyMakers getting just a bigger and bigger lead.
Yeah, and there's another. A lot of these teams have very obvious jokes, which we're not going to go towards. But
go on, mate.
No, but they are gaining income rather rapidly.
Currency be flowing
into their pockets, indeed. 15k gold, up from 7k gold just a few minutes ago. One fight, and they just farm this map so damn efficiently.
Okay, UALEIKUM, finally they're smoking, they're trying to be proactive. EXO isn't caught up for 50 seconds.
Ooh, Igor, if they could just blow him up, that'd be great, but they're hesitating pretty hard in this one because they know they don't really have the nukes to just rip through this guy right now. Ateka trying to do the damage, but once again, just gonna get, oh, no, he has to doom onto himself thanks to the Aghanims, but he has to back away. Shira just gonna jump in and throw him into the ground. The pulverizers there, Igor somehow still alive, finish the death profit. They're not going to be able to. Lucas on top of Chira Junior. Chira Junior's going to get stunned on the side of Mystic Flare.
Jared's back.
Finally dies in the backlines. Shagarat finds him through the back. Gyrocopter into the fight, looking for Bignum, looking for Slayer. Neither of them actually going to fall just yet. Shagarat once again has to get out that mop and do his duty. They will kill off Bignum eventually. One manages to find him with a flak. And this time, UALEIKUM do manage to piece it together. And they're going to have to go to the bottom side and wait for Roshan there.
Yeah, and this was the
4 seconds it will be.
It was the first time we didn't see the Doom laid with like Sven just jumping on top, destroying a gyrocopter. He got doomed, but he was able to disengage. Like Sven, sure, he did 6,000 damage, but the fact that gyrocopter was doomed, disengaged, held that high ground position the entire time. Of course, EXO was on cooldown, like we mentioned. Thank God we have a replay. But Igor, he steps up. I think primarily, look at Lucas in this fight. He's on the southern side. He walks past the primal. He gets clipped by the flat cannon. It's what prevents him from actually blinking up onto the high ground and just ripping through them. And then he kind of walks into this awkward choke point and has to disengage. So he gets his blink cancelled by flat, wastes his BKB, and just blundering what could have been another easy fight for them with the 15k gold lead. Positioning was key, and Ateka, he took the high ground and he used it with ease. Oh, Roshan's falling, mate.
Yeah, it is. It's getting boiled down pretty quick. That's the thing we should talk about. I was just looking where Doom had Ags in that fight, right? I'm not going insane.
You're going insane.
I am going insane. Okay.
You are, yes.
Right. Good to know.
Anything else you want to check for your sanity, or?
Probably check with my therapist.
Oh, fair enough.
After that.
That's Twitch chat. I'm loading up Twitch chat right now.
Yeah. Help me, guys.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm looking.
Me.
Oh god, don't read Twitch chat. They are not helping you, Nomad. They are.
Right.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah, no.
I do feel like we need some damage on this gyrocopter, though. That's the one thing we're really lacking from this fight. Like, one good thing you can pull out versus all of these heroes with these big abilities is killing them before they get them off. But Ateka just was like, I was excited because he went Axe, then he went Crystallis. I was like, okay, good. And then Satanic, and I was like, all right, we'll get there. And then we went Sanjin Yash, and I'm like, okay, really? They're kind of teasing us here, but finally, Gid's going back for the Daedalus now, has a recipe coming out to him, so won't be too long until we have a Daedalus, and that will give him a little bit more damage that he could rip through here before they can get off these big abilities.
Yeah, I like the fact that he did go for the Sanjasha. Just get a bit of status resistance. Like, if all he needs to do is survive the Doom. So if he can press Satanic pre-Doom, good. If he gets doomed, okay, he's got the Sanj to lean on in the fight. So I think overall itemization-wise, he's perfectly identified the state of the game. And I think we got to see it kind of showcase in that previous fight how it is enabling him to not just be this glass cannon gyrocopter that in other games would be awesome. The positioning though, you've got to be careful. Willow is all the way in the Radiant Triangle. So if a fight was to break out here, it wouldn't be too good for them. And okay, they are moving south away from the cluster of MoneyMakers.
Indeed. Yeah, one thing to mention is that if you do use Satanic before Doom, well, you can use it during Doom if you want, right? Because it now just stops healing reduction.
Yeah.
So, yeah, could be an opportunity to kill off the gyro. As the smoke up comes through, looks like we're heading.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, thanks, mate. I forgot it takes away the healing. Thanks, Nomad.
Last cast, so
thanks, mate. All good. Today we learned.
In we go. Sven just taking chunks out of Centaur Warrunner, but in comes Chira diving into the mix to try and help out his teammate, but might just be adding to the death. He is. He's going to be chopped up as well. Ataker trying to take to the front lines now. I mean, there's no Doom available, so surely Ataker could be able to clean up here, but of course, he needs to stay on the heroes if he's going to do that. And now, oh, nice, quick glimmer, but it doesn't. Dust is there, and he cleans through the both of them. Two supports just chopped up nicely by the Sven as Gyro narrowly escaping that Infernal Blade there. And that'll be the end of things. Terrible fight for the side of UALEIKUM, despite having the Aegis on their side, but they just played around the Gyro beautifully.
Yeah, I love the fact that we have the Aegis bait. It happens every game. The team that's behind it get an Aegis, like, boys, we can cross the river. And then suddenly you're running into the Exo, the Doom, the God Strength, and everything just slaps you back into reality. Sure, Gyrocopter, he has this second life, but just ignore him. Just don't even go near him. And we see it here, the speed in which they initiate. The Centaur, 3 hits, half HP? Blown up quite beautifully. Primal Beast gets the Doom, and at this point, there's no fight to be had. You haven't used Qualifiers, you haven't used Stampede. There's no real position. The way in which UALEIKUM actually wins fights is in the high ground locations with the Observer Ward, utilize flak spreading on multiple heroes. But here, it's just a little bit messy, and fundamentally, that Aegis baited them into a position that isn't good for their draft to fight into.
Absolutely not. It's all about the go in, go out kind of poking and prodding team fights for Moneymakers. Meanwhile, UALEIKUM, they just need to keep him in one place for a prolonged period of time. But I have to say, Chira, you can't do that to a Sven. You can't just charge at him with Onslaught and hope that you can kind of get off the Pulverize and bring him down. He just does way too much damage. He just ended up being another sausage in the blender. Lucas grabbing a Wisdom Rune as well and just running back into the base. I mean, they recognize their weaknesses very, very acutely here. Moneymakers not willing to go for a fight without Exo, without basically everything back up again. Doom's just off cooldown now. How do you deal with Sven this game? And why does Willow have a Midas? These are the two biggest questions on my mind.
Ooh, which one would you like me to answer first?
Probably the important one.
Okay, so the Willow has the Midas because Ag's Moonshard is, of course, a beautiful build for late game Willows. And being able to become that additional core, always handy. Getting to that level 25 talent, like our beautiful observers pointing out, also a beautiful addition. And I think there's a lot of supports that once you buy your one helpful item, you could probably make the excuse of my levels are going to be better than a random 4-star, because we're already dying in a split second. If I become a real hero rather than just enabling someone else, it's warranted. So few heroes can do it. Willow's probably the one that I could maybe see if I take her. He's showing on the wave and they're fully smoked up.
In we go, everything onto the Gyrocopter, and he just gets torn limb from limb, wing from wing, propeller by propeller, as Lucas just takes another 2 heroes. Shagarat teeping out on the sidelines does get away with that. Everybody else just trying to scatter into the breeze. I think Moneymakers are getting too big to fail at this point. Every single time they're looking with these abilities up, they're finding it. And then every time while they come back up and they're trying to find something, they're just getting sidestepped. Honestly, like, this is a game of cat and mouse where they're swapping roles of cat and mouse every kind of minute or so. But every time while they come hunting, they're just finding nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you see it perfectly where they smoke up into the dire triangle with Moneymakers. They had heroes in the top side, bot side, like everything was so spread out that even if they were to smoke and find a hero, it'd only be one. You get one pick off using 5 heroes time. And it's been the story of the game, just a lot of smoking into the wind, getting nothing, and getting eventually just beat down by some Doom and Sven combo.
Yes, sir.
Another tower, full satanic soon complete on Lucas here. This is why Sven is so scary, the fact that you can go for Harpoon plus Swift Blink, Silver Edge. Like, attack speed was always the issue with old school Svens, but nowadays there's plenty of items for you to kind of bridge that gap. You're always going to be scaling. One wrong item isn't going to hinder your damage output later down the line.
Yeah.
They're jumping onto the Doom.
They certainly are. They're going on the backlines, but Sven, he's popped the God Strength. He's coming around the back and he's taking out both the supports. Now moving on to the Gyrocopter as well. The Doom's out on him. The Sven is there as well. Eagle gets the kill. Now looking at the Centaur Warrunner, he might be tanky, but the Sven is bigger. Yules comes out to try and slow him down. Meanwhile, in the backlines, HYDRA Junior just surrounded by 4 heroes and pulled apart as Lucas finally finished the job onto Bexon as well, and now just starts smacking away at this towers before the creeps have even arrived. See, I think this one might be over. And there it is. Bexon thinks so as well. The man with the Midas calls GG as game number 1 goes convincingly towards the side of MoneyMakers.
Nearly 12,000 damage on that final fight from Sven, and I think that is the reason why Sven is such a beautiful counter to this rising hero that is Gyrocopter. Because sure, even if you can